Hi, Joe Flowers for Equipped to Endure, and today I'm going to tell you about a piece of gear I selected for the Amazon 5000. In case you haven't seen any of our past videos, the Amazon 5000 is a expedition undergone by Mickey Grossman, where he's going from one part of South America to the other side of South America, and he's selected me to go on a leg of it for a month. I'm trying to raise money for it, so please go to amazonjoe.stayclassy.org and help me out. You will see me in the bush with the boots I'm about to talk about. What boots when I have so many already? Well, I've played with the Ultima Jungle Boot. I love it. It's a really durable design. It's American made, really important feature. And it's just my complete standby boot. I've had this one for years. I've taken really good care of it though, because it's broken in. These things are hard to break in. There are a couple of things I don't like about it. It's really heavy. It's got this huge moldy, bulky footbed. Although this Panama sole doesn't catch mud, it's still pretty heavy. Now, my boot of choice after that, and the boot that I took with me last time I went to Peru with Jeff Randall, was the OTB light boot. This is a light jungle boot that they have. I think it's a different name now because New Balance has it. But this is supposed to be an extremely lightweight jungle boot. Now the problems that we had with this were that it's still caked on mud, even though this kind of treading is emulating a non-mud catching thing like the Panama sole, which really wasn't a big deal for me. Jeff complained about having thorns going into the side of each one of these boots. I didn't have that particular problem myself, and I was all up in the thorns, but I haven't encountered that problem yet where I can see where it can be a problem. On the Ultima, it has these brass drainage holes here. These drainage holes are important for a jungle boot because you're going to be getting wet all the time. You're sloshing through swamps. You're sloshing through muck. You want it to drain out, not just hold water, otherwise you might as well be walking around with huge buckets. So, with these in mind, I wanted to find something that was a little bit more pliable, but still had the steel rivets, or a better, more durable drainage hole, and that's when I found this puppy, the Nike SFB boot. Now I thought the OTB boot was light at 1 pound 3 ounces, but this is 1 pound 2.8 ounces. That's 0.2 ounces lighter, which really isn't that big of a deal, but it does make it the lightest boot that I've tested, and I can feel it when I pick up the OTB in this, that this is much lighter. One of the other important features that I saw in the SFB, which made it my selection, was that it had this this free sole bed, which they have on their sneakers, and I like being extra maneuverable in the jungle, and this seemed to have a little bit more flexion than even the OTB boot. Ideally, I'd like to have some kind of barefoot jungle moccasin hybrid, and I'll design that later in life at some point. But for right now, I like this a lot. Now, this guy is different looking than your normal jungle boot. And even the normal jungle boots, the normal Nike SFB boots available. Because I used Nike's ID feature on their website to go ahead and purchase this. I had it personalized myself. I designed it myself because I just wanted a full grain leather instead of the synthetic leather. I feel that's going to be a little bit more durable that way. Maybe even the synthetic leather is lighter, who knows? But I wanted full grain leather because of the durability that I saw on my Ultima jungle boot. Of course, it has canvas sides like your normal jungle boot, and I picked a different color combination rather than your normal green and black. They have all black, all brown, and then I think it's the Air Force kind of sage green look normally available. But the normal price is $140. This guy costs a little bit less than $200 because I wanted to have my own personal look. I paid for it, but I'm happy with that because if I treat these boots correctly, they should last a long time. They definitely don't look as durable as the Ultimas, but these Ultimas are jungle, are USA made, you know, jungle approved. I feel if I take care of these, you know, maybe when things come undone, I can epoxy them or something like that on the bottom. But another complaint that might happen is that these eyelets come out. I can deal with that. If I start seeing these becoming loose, I'm going to monitor them and test the crud out of them before I take them to the Amazon, where I'll be using them for a month. I'll epoxy each side. Now, what I do like about this Nike locking lace system, which I think is just a fancy term for speed laces, is that these are incredibly easy to put on and lace up. And then when I feel like taking them off, I just unlace the top one and pull them off. And that's a big deal for me because I use these jungle boots a lot when I'm hunting and going in and out of a hunting lodge, and I get these things really, really muddy. These I have to like unlace halfway to get them all the way through. These still are kind of unlacy. These just come apart. Now I wish these came in a wide width. I picked 10.5 because they didn't come in wide width. They're normally 10. My size is normally 10. Extremely comfortable out of the box. Just to test it, I wore these around barefoot to break them in. No socks and no blisters. I'm not going to hike barefoot with these, I don't think. But with socks, these are incredibly comfortable and really, really light and dexterous. I'm not able to point like that normally, but with these boots, I can do that no problem. And that's important when I'm climbing trees. These still don't have the amount of dexterity that these do, which is another thing that I was looking for. Now with that pointy capability comes a little bit of lack of ankle support, but I still feel like the ankle support's there. Maybe not exactly as much as in this fully laced super boot right here, but I have pretty strong ankles, so I'm comfortable with it. Now we're going to go into the specs, just so you can see a close-up view of this. Take a closer look at the Nike SFB boot. Now this particular one was customized on NikeID.com. The normal version comes with synthetic leather. This is full grain leather. It's a little bit less abrasion resistant than the synthetic leather, but I think it's going to be more durable, and I'm more used to it in a jungle boot. Canvas sides. Of course, on the options on the Nike ID site, you can do full synthetic or full grain. But I chose to stick with the normal jungle boot canvas. Like a normal jungle boot, there are drainage holes. These particular drainage holes are metal, impeding thorns from going into them. You can see the triple stitching here too. Good locations for the drainage holes. I don't think they're too high up. They're like the normal Ultima jungle boot, which I'm highly used to. They should drain pretty well. Now, something different from other boots is that these have a flexible sole, not moccasin or free running foot flexible, but it is based on a free running shoe. So the Nike free shoe, it's supposed to mimic the orthopedic dexterity of your foot, and it's supposed to have all those little balance points in there. It's definitely flexible, but it's still a lot of material on the bottom. So I wouldn't call it like a free running boot by any means. You can't feel gravel on the ground when you're wearing it. Areas of concern for me would be the rivets right here. I've seen reviews where they come undone. I may reinforce them with epoxy if I see that's happening. Now on this radius right here and right here, I can see the epoxy delaminating too in the jungle, so I may reinforce that. But of course, we're going to field test the crud out of these things and make sure they're good to go. On the inside, it's basically normal like a jungle boot. It's got some kind of full leather bottom there, but there's nothing completely different or mind-blowing about that. It's just constructed like a normal jungle boot, and there haven't been any hot spots for me on the inside yet. I'm going to field test the crud out of these though, as stated before, to make sure that they're good to go. So there you have it, the specifications on why I'm going to choose the Nike SFB boot for my particular boot in the Amazon 5000. Now, the Nike SFB goes for about $140. I use the Nike ID system off of the Nike website, and I had to pay a bit more for my full grain leather customized version, but I wanted it that way. This boot should be durable, it better be, so I'm going to field test the crud out of it. I'm going to do at least 5 to 10 miles this weekend alone with a heavy pack on to start breaking in and make sure it's good to go. This thing has a blowout while I'm down in the Amazon for a month. I'm going to be having some problems, so I need to make sure that this is durable enough. For more information on that expedition, you can go to amazonjoe.sayclassy.org. The Amazon 5000 is completely nonprofit. All of the proceeds go to cancer research and benefit children in cancer wards. As a member of the Amazon 5000, I'm required to raise about $3 grand, and I'm 2/3 of the way there. So, Equipped to Endure listeners and fans, I need your help. So please go to Amazon 5000 and check it out. That's amazonjoe.sayclassy.org. Now, for more information about Equipped to Endure, you can go to equippedtoendure.com. Questions at equippedtoendure.com. I'm Joe Flowers for Equipped to Endure. And remember, if you're not always prepared, you're never prepared.